Hi ladies, this is my card for today. I made this card using the Sentimentals Cricut cartridge, and when I was growing up, my great-grandparents had a chair in their foyer that was called the thinking chair, and whenever one of us would get in trouble, one of us grandkids or great-grandkids would get in trouble, they always told us that we had to go sit in the thinking chair, and basically it was the modern day version of the timeout chair, but it looked a lot like this chair. So when I saw this chair on the cartridge, I thought, oh my gosh, I have to make cards and send them to my cousins that say thinking of you, because they'll totally laugh remembering about that chair. And believe it or not, my great-grandparents are still alive. My grandfather is 98 and my grandmother is 96, and they still live in the same house that they bought when they very first got married, and believe it or not, they still have this chair sitting in their foyer. It's been reupholstered a couple times, but it's still there. So anyway, I thought it would be a good memory for my cousins. So I'm making 4 of these cards, but I'm going to show you today how I made one of them. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I started off with a typical A2 size card. The only difference is that I scored it in a different place to make it a gatefold card. So you're going to cut your piece of paper at 5.5 by 8 inches, or let's start again. You're going to cut your piece of paper at 5.5 wide by 8.5 long, and then you're going to score your paper at 2.25 inches in on each side, and that creates the gatefold card. Okay, the paper that I'm using to put on the front of my card is the Cosmo Cricket Garden Variety paper, and it's really cute. So I cut 2 pieces for the front, and these are cut at 2.25 by 5.5. So I'm going to apply those to the front of my card just like that. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the paper applied to the front of my card, and I'm going to do the inset for the card now, and I actually already kind of put it together to save time, but my paper that the card is matted on is 3.5 wide by 4.5 tall, and then the paper, the white paper cardstock that I printed Thinking About You on, is 3.25 wide by 4.25 tall. Okay, and I'm gonna use my tape runner and put that center that the best I can on the inside of my card. Okay, so there's the inside of my card. Okay, so I used the Sentimentals cart to cut out my chair, and I actually, to save time, already cut my chair out and put it together, but I'm going to show you in the manual on page 41. I cut the chair out of a brown piece of paper. I cut it at 3 3/4, and then I cut on the layer key, I cut my floral paper again at 3 3/4, and then I cut a cream cardstock. It matched the background of the floral paper, so I cut the cream cardstock on the shadow key, and I cut that at 3 3/4 also. The Cricut automatically figures out what size to make it in relation to what you already cut your main cut at. Okay, so I cut that out, and I've inked around the edges with Versamagic Sarah Sand. If you watch my videos, you know that's one of my favorite inks. And then I took a black marker and I doodled around the edge of the cushion just to give it a little bit more dimension. So I've put foam tape on the back, and I've only put it on one side because I'm going to put it on, attach it just to one side of the card, because that side of the card is going to open. So I don't want to have any foam tape on the right hand side, or I wouldn't be able to open my card. So I'm going to pull off the foam tape, Okay, so I centered my chair on my card, and I'm just making sure that it's stuck down on that side. And there's my card. I think it turned out pretty cute. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.